Hello, everybody. Wolfang here. Today is Tuesday, March the 18th. March Madness. If anybody's into basketball, which I'm not. So, how is everyone doing? Good, I hope. Really nice day here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We hit 74, I think. That's pretty good. But the weather's definitely going up and down. They're calling, I guess we're going to have some more storms this weekend. I hope nothing bad. It's just some of these people, I mean, the flooding and the tornadoes, they've had enough. So, but that's Mother Nature. Anyway, man, there's a lot going on. It was like, which article to pick? But our astronauts are finally coming home after a 6-hour tour. Or was it an 8-hour tour? They Starlink or Star X or whatever. I think it's one of Elon Musk's rockets that went up to get them from the International Space Station. And I think they're supposed to splash down tomorrow. I don't know. But at least they're coming home now. They were only supposed to be there, like 10 days, 12 days, something like that. And it's been almost a year. That's crazy. And that does put a toll on your body, they say. Being in no gravity, it messes with the body. That's why they only stay up there so long. You don't hear of them staying up there for 5 years. I don't know what the longest is. Oh, you might have to look that one up. Anyway, what I do want to share is that Venezuela gang that got deported, and there's a judge that thinks it's wrong. So let me share what the article has to say. And it says, what will happen to deportees at El Salvador prison? And if they're the worst of the worst, I don't care what happens to them. You can call me whatever you want. The Trump administration over the weekend deported hundreds of suspected gang members to El Salvador's mega prison, the Terrorism Confinement Center. The administration has denied violating U.S. District Judge James E. Boasberg order temporarily blocking deportation under the 18th century wartime declaration aimed at the Venezuela gang members. On Sunday morning, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that 250 alleged members of MS-13 and Arga, I guess is the other gangs, were deported to El Salvador, despite the judge's directive to pause removals and return any planes carrying deportees. I didn't know a judge had that kind of authority. TDA and MS-13 have been designated as a terrorist organization by the Trump administration. And here in Cincinnati, some MS-13 members have been caught. Not like now, but in the past. They've been here for a few years from what I understood. The U.S. government's decision to deport these individuals raises significant legal and human rights concerns. By invoking the rarely used Alien Enemies Act of 1798, the administration bypassed traditional legal venues, prompting accusations of executive overreach. Furthermore, the conditions at CECOT, a prison known for its harsh environment and mass incarceration practices, have drawn international scrutiny. I doubt that very much. This action, carried out by the Trump administration, involved individuals allegedly linked to violent criminal organizations, including Venezuela's TDA and notorious MS-13. Despite legal challenges, the deportations proceeded, sparking concerns over the legitimacy of the process and the treatment of detainees at this correction center, maximum security center. The migrants were expelled after Trump evoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a law used only 3 times in U.S. history during the War of 1812 and World Wars I and II. This legislation grants the president the authority to detain or expel foreign nationals if the country is officially at war, bypassing usual protections under immigration and criminal laws. Trump justified its use by allegedly the gangs were infiltrating the United States. Originating in a notorious Venezuelan prison, TDA emerged amid the migration of millions of Venezuelans fleeing economic collapse. MS-13, also known as Maria Salvia Truncha, I don't know, is believed to have been founded as a neighborhood street gang in Los Angeles in the mid-1980s by people fleeing civil war and violence in El Salvador. So they leave another country because of violence and then just bring the violence here. That makes a lot of sense. Despite these claims, the Trump administration has not disclosed the identities of the deported migrants, presented evidence linking them to TDA or MS-13, or proven they committed crimes in the U.S. The Trump administration will pay El Salvador president, and I'm not going to try his name, government $6 million for 1 year of service in a deal arranged by Rubio. Video released by El Salvador's government on Sunday showed men disembarking from airplanes onto an airport tarmac where officers in riot gear stood in formation. The men appeared to have shackles at their hands and ankles. The footage also captured their transfer to CECOT in a heavily guarded convoy of buses escorted by police, military vehicles, and at least 1 helicopter. Upon arrival, the men were shown kneeling as their heads were shaved before being dressed in the prison's all-white uniform. The CECOT prison has been central to El Salvador's aggressive crackdown on gang violence since Berkeley took office in 2019. The prison is designed to hold up to 40,000 inmates. That's a lot. Many of whom are mass murderers, drug traffickers, and members of notorious gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18. Situated in Telcaluca, about an hour from San Salvador, the massive prison complex opened in January 2023. Wow, so it's new. After being constructed in just 7 months, its design and operations embody a harsh approach to incarceration, housing inmates in large, windowless cells equipped with only basic amenities, tiered metal bunks, an open toilet, and a cement basin. Each cell can fit 65 to 70 prisoners. Holy crap. Now, could you imagine that? Wow. Personal items, books, or even letters from family are banned. Prisoners spend 23 and a half hours a day locked in their cells with a brief 30-minute window for exercise or religious activities in a central hallway. Meals are basic, consisting mainly of beans, rice, plantains, with no meat served. I bet they get the shits. The government does not provide regular updates on prison population. However, the human rights organization Cristosol reported that as of March 2024, El Salvador had 110,000 people incarcerated, including convicted individuals and those waiting trial. This figure is more than double the 36,000 inmates reported by the government in April 2021. Last year, Cristosol reported that at least 261 people had died in El Salvador's prisons during the gang crackdown. The organization, along with others, has documented cases of abuse, torture, and inadequate medical care. Man, look at that riot gear those guys are wearing. Could be a female, you never know. Looks like something from Star Wars, like a stormtrooper. Tom Decker, a former U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, New York Field Office Director, told Newsweek, foreign gangs, especially the TDA, are a dangerous threat to the United States. By evoking the Alien Enemies Act, President Trump is following through with his campaign promise to protect the citizens of the United States. Hannah Flame, International Refugee Assistance Project, interim senior director of policy, said in a statement, the mass interment of people during World War II on the basis of their ancestry has long been recognized as one of the most shameful chapters in this country's history. The use of this archaic law to once again try to justify mass detention, xenophobia, and human rights abuse is deplorable and shocking. Trinidad is not a nation. The United States is not at war, and immigrants are not our enemies. No, but these ones that come over here that want to rape, pillage, and plunder are the enemy, lady. She added the invocation of the Alien Enemies Act is part of a parcel of the Trump administration's attempt to weaponize the law to characterize all immigrants as criminals, and they're not enemies, to deprive them of fundamental rights. Further, the Trump administration violation of the federal court order is profoundly alarming. The American public and the justice system will not be fooled by this cruel grandstanding. And I can't read what they're. Okay, what happens next? A hearing is scheduled for Friday to determine whether the judge's injunction on the act will be extended. The judge's decision to temporarily block deportations under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 could spark a high-stakes legal showdown with the Trump administration, potentially leading to U.S. Supreme Court review. And they're doing this because they don't like Trump once again. So, with that being said, during the Second War in California, there were detention centers for all Japanese. Now, were they treated cruelly? I don't know. I know there's history on it because I've seen it. But yeah, during a time of war, Are we at a time of war? No and yes. But the point is, Trump said he was going to keep American citizens safe. And these people are not safe. From the article from the lady that just said it's inhumane. No, you know what? I guarantee if these people that are pissing and moaning about Trump and what he's doing, I bet you if one of their family members was raped, killed, whatever, they would be, you got to do something. But you know what? It doesn't. Once again, it doesn't matter. Trump could shit a golden egg, and they'd say that's not gold. So, but you know, I'm giving points to Trump because he hears all this shit. He knows how half feels about him, and he knows how the other half feels about him. And he's got a strong freaking backbone. And he's going to do what he said he's going to do. He's bringing America back with common sense. We lost common sense a long time ago. So, anyway, before I get my blood pressure any higher, I hope everybody has a great Tuesday evening. Oh, it's Taco Tuesday. So, blessed be, stay safe. This is Wolf Fang. Bullshit with y'all later. Bye.